line. I hope we're not across that line. That's why I will be voting against SB 243.
Representative King.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will the sponsor yield?
Will the sponsor yield? Representative Herod, will you yield?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Representative, tell me a little bit about this district. Where is it in Salt Lake?
The primary of the emails are coming from the Yellcrest, Harvard area of Salt Lake.
Right. Where is that in Salt Lake? What are the street coordinates?
If I'm correct, I've been there. I have a good friend that lives in that area that I believe that you know. I believe it's about 1300 east, 1800 south, somewhere around there. I'm give or take 10 blocks.
Been up there to survey the area in anticipation of sponsoring the bill?
I've actually driven the area a number of times.
Madam Speaker, let me declare a conflict. I live in Yellcrest. I'm the only one in the House to live in Yellcrest. I'm the only one who's going to speak today that so-called has some skin in the game. Senator Romero also lives in Yellcrest. He voted against this bill. What this bill is not about is whether there should be an LHD, a local historic district, in Yellcrest. That's what we're not here to talk about. What we are here to talk about is process. What's the best process by which individuals affected by this proposal or by zoning and planning ordinances in the Yellcrest area, what's the best process by which they're to have decisions made for that area or make decisions themselves? I am a firm believer that we should be putting in place government that can competently be performed on the most local level possible. And small government conservatives should take a very hard look at this bill because it's contrary to basic principles of small government. It's actually a thumb on the scale of a dispute between two parties in this situation, two groups, both of whom are arguing about property rights. Because it is true that planning and zoning ordinances have a tremendous impact on individual property rights, but it's not a one-way street. There are people who purchase homes in the neighborhood that I live in, and they do it thinking that they're moving into a neighborhood of a certain type, with a certain type home and a certain type atmosphere. And that's what their home is valued on, and they want to keep it that way. And for individuals to be able to just tear down a home whenever they want, maybe that affects their property rights too. Now, I want to be very clear. I don't have a strong feeling in favor of local historic districts. I am very skeptical, in fact, that under the circumstances of the situation for my neighborhood, a local historic district would be appropriate. But I don't need to make that decision today, and no one else does either in this body. What we are talking about, what I've had to grapple with, and I have struggled with this bill. I've struggled with it in a way I've not struggled with other bills in my time up here, because it does impact me personally. And yet, at the same time, I recognize that of the 28,000 people in the district that I represent, only about 1,500 of them live in Yellcrest. Representative Briscoe and I split Yellcrest. He actually has 2/3 of the folks in the neighborhood. I only have about 1/3, but I live in that third. So I've got to think about what the total number of people in my district think about this bill and cast a vote accordingly. This is a 5-by-6 block area. We're talking about the state of Utah, the legislature, reaching its hand down, not into a county, not into a city, not into a community, but into a 5-by-6 block neighborhood. Now, let me tell you one thing that is probably most troubling to me about the process here. I have not had either the Senate sponsor of this bill nor the House sponsor of this bill come to me and speak to me.
Representative, that's your 5 minutes. Representative King would like to ask for
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Without objection, that'll be granted.
Thank you. What kind of process am I supposed to feel good about as a state representative for the area affected, as a resident of the neighborhood, when neither the Senate sponsor nor the House sponsor comes to me and speaks to me about this bill that affects me, both as a representative and as a resident? I've asked Senator Briscoe if he's heard from either the Senate or the House sponsor. He has not. Now, all I would suggest to you is this is an important bill if for no other reason than it sets a precedent. I've heard the Senate sponsor indicate that he plans, if this bill passes, next year on coming back and talking in greater detail and more substance about local historic districts. I would submit to you, Madam Speaker, that this issue is best left for the residents of a particular area. I would submit to you that that's consistent with principles of conservatism, small government, and not overreaching. And I ask for your no vote on this bill. Thank you.